Hey, I'm Tom from Pack Hacker, and in this video we're taking a detailed look at the NITECORE Carbo 10,000 power bank, which I've been testing over the course of the last 2 weeks. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel, give it a thumbs up so we can keep bringing you content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. All right, so taking a look at this thing, it is different than the other NITECORE banks in that it is one piece of carbon fiber that goes all the way around. It has rounded corners. I personally like this a lot better than their other one. It's a tad bit heavier. I'm gonna compare them a little bit later in this video, but it is, one piece. I think it looks a little bit more slick. I think the type here, like in the text, is a little bit like ugly because it's so bright. You can see brands like Anchor will kind of do like gray text on black. Super minor, like aesthetic complaint. Not a big deal, not affecting the functionality at all. But I do love this unibody construction for durability. Of course, you have this plate back here that's just, put on, but the rest of it's just one piece of carbon fiber. So I really do dig that. Then we have a USB-A port, which is gonna be 18 watt output. And then we have a USB-C port, which is 20 watt input and output. This thing can fast charge, but if you're charging with both at once, which you can do, you can actually charge 2 devices at once through this thing. It's gonna split that wattage up a bit based on, how much power is going to which device. USB-C to charge only though, USB-A is just for charging. And if I tap here, you can see that the blue LED will blink, indicating how much power I have left. I wanted to deplete it so it could be clear. There are some complaints on the NITECORE site that you see some LED light bleeding into the next indicator, so it can be hard to tell whether or not this thing is on 1, 2, or 3 levels of charge. Right before this, I actually thought it was on 3 levels of charge, but it was actually just on 2, bordering 1. So at this point now, it is like time to recharge this thing. It's getting very low, so that was a little bit confusing for me. But if it's not on 3 LEDs, then you probably just want to charge it up anyway. So it's not the biggest deal if you just kind of you pay a little bit of attention to how much you're using something. But I think that could be improved. On the first NITECORE battery bank, this bled into each other quite a bit. The second one, the LEDs almost seem like they're a little bit brighter, so you can more easily tell. And this one kind of goes in between those two where we're kind of bleeding again. All right, and then you can also put this thing on low current mode by tapping and holding the button here. Never wants to do it for some reason when I'm doing it. Oh, it's just very, very, very faint. It's probably gonna be, yeah, there you go. On the very right side, that 4th LED is now lit up white. So you can see that we're in low current mode. That works well for devices that require that. Just make sure to check and see what yours requires. And then you can see I've tapped and held it to turn it off as well. So tapping and holding, we'll put it into that low current mode. And then just tapping will let you see how much charge is inside of this battery bank. Another little detail too, I love how these are yellow. It's very clear and easy to see that these are the ports to where you plug into. And just overall a really sleek, very small power bank with a lot of power. I really, really dig it. This thing is super packable with the rounded corners. It is a tad bigger than the NB10000. This actually is not the next generation of this battery bank. According to NITECORE, it's a distinct line of its own. So, these two both exist with one another, but I do dig the rounded corners. Taking a look at the differences though, I think that the Carbo is more packable because the corners are less sharp. So it's not gonna get caught in your pockets as much if you put it inside your pockets, or whether it's, your pants or your bag or your sling. I just think this one packs a lot better and it's a lot slicker, even though they're pretty much the same size. I guess another thing to note is that the unibody version of this is just slightly heavier than this one. It's not a lot. It's like 1/4 of an ounce or something like that. So not a ton at all, but that's important to note if you're really, really, really cutting every last gram from your packing list. All right, just wanted to compare to a couple of other products. So I've got the 3 NITECORE battery banks we have here right now. This is the original NB10000 up here in the front, NB10000 version 2, and then the Carbo, the one I'm reviewing this video in the back. Just wanted to show you the slight differences. So you see in the Carbo, the power button's a little bit bigger. I'll show you the LED bleeding on generation 1. And generation 2, you can see that the LEDs seem to have gotten brighter, much brighter than the Carbo. So the Carbo is actually on right now. Gen 2 is on as well. Gen 2 just seems a lot brighter if you're looking at it. It's a little bit more easy to tell how charged up this thing is. And of course, we got the yellow ports coming in on version 2 and then the Carbo as well. So there's a little bit of a difference. I feel like NITECORE is always just doing these little improvements to figure things out, but that LED bleeding thing is a bit of a bummer on this one. But again, like, just charge it up. You know, for me, it's not a deal breaker. And then I just wanted to compare the Carbo to a couple of other battery banks we've tried. So here's something from a popular brand, Anker. This is a 10,000 milliamp. I think it's their light version. You can see just the size difference, like the NB 10,000 Carbo, or Carbo 10,000 is a lot smaller and a lot more packable, which I dig. These are the exact same milliamp. Here's like a magnetic version that works with MagSafe from Anker as well. So it's a little bit smaller, but it's only 5,000 milliamps, so it's half the amount of power. There is MagSafe charging, but it's, you know, still thicker than this one, and it only has half the power, and it's about, you know, 3/4 of the height. So I'm picking the NB 10,000 Carbo every time. And then here's one from Satechi that's a little bit larger as well. This also has a way to charge your Apple Watch and your like AirPods if you just stick them on there. But really vast size difference that you're kind of paying for with having that built-in functionality. So this is personally one of my favorite battery banks. I think it is super small and super packable. I really dig it. So there you have it, the NITECORE Carbo 10,000 battery bank. Thanks for giving me here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next video.